What's up, ladies? Pretty much.
You were gonna say guys and then changed it to ladies.
I was?
Uh-huh.
You sure?
Hello, T and Kristen.
I gotta get my... Hold on, I gotta do something.
Is that viewer count right?
I don't know. Maybe.
I'm surprised. I'm like, honestly...
Whoa, so hold on.
Whoa,
Something's
whoa.
happening. Something's happening. No! Whew, that was close. I don't know if it is. Maybe. Maybe not. Who knows?
It looks like it...
There we go. We're good now.
Except
now it's
it
right.
says 1. Did
Don't
we
worry
lose
about
someone?
it. Don't worry about it.
So I'm honestly like really shocked that you finished that book, Kristen, because you had a lot left to go. Hi, Hufflepuff. Nice hair, Kivox.
Thanks, my dude. I gotta...
That's a girl.
My dude can be a girl. We're not sponsored. I gotta cover up the logo, the thing there. So that's the only reason I bought this gaffer tape. It's called gaffer tape. Isn't that cool? Is that a cool name?
Like legit, that's the only reason.
Look, gaffer tape.
You
no,
wasted money.
No, I just thought it'd be funny. This is the main reason I've used it. I've used it for other things like this, like holding the wires up and stuff. Gaffer tape is expensive. It's like more expensive than like duct tape and stuff.
Duct tape isn't that expensive.
Yes, it is.
You started it Friday. There is no way I could have read this book in 2 days.
There is no way I could have read this book.
He didn't finish it.
I did not finish it. I just like, I did not finish it, I said. I didn't like it. We're going to start with that one, by the way. We're starting with the Bone season. We're going to talk about the Bone season.
Who read it? Who read the Bone season? And give me your rating.
Well, let's actually start at like 2 o'clock. Just to, if anybody else is going to actually show up. That's the time we said we were going to start. We just started a little bit earlier today, just for funds. If you guys have that, what's the name of that app that I started using? If you guys have Goodreads, I got a Goodreads if you guys didn't know. So you could follow me on there. I was about 2/3 of the way with this book, and I was just like, I thought it was next weekend that the stream was. Remember I talked to you about? I was like, it's next weekend, Meek, and you're like, no, it's this weekend. I was like, I'm not gonna finish. I read a lot of other books this month, and I've read some bad books. Here's the thing. I didn't think it was a bad book. It just wasn't for me. It was written well.
No, the writing is great.
That's the thing.
And I think that's why
wasn't my...
I'm so excited for Priority of the Orange Tree, because
Priority Incantatum. Every time you say that, that's what I think of.
That story reminds me... it seems like a much cooler story than the Bone season, even though it's the same author. And I know that I like her writing. I just didn't overly love the content, so I don't think I'll have a problem reading it. But I don't know. That's why I'm excited for it.
Okay. Sounds good. How's the audio, guys? How's it sound, guys? Just making sure everything's sounding A-okay and we're loud enough.
Oh my God, T read it in a week.
Oh, forget me. Did you guys like it?
She said she gave it a 2 out of 5.
All right, it's 2 o'clock, so let's start.
T gave it a 2 out of 5. Kristen gave it a 3 out of 5. Hufflepuff, did you read it?
What's up, Hufflepuff?
So,
wait, who'd you say was a girl?
T.
Oh, what's up, my dude? My best friend is Kristen now. Remember, we became best friends. Did we just become best friends? Yup. We did it. You finally know what I'm talking about now.
He made me watch like half of that movie just for that one quote.
Part. Yeah, nobody knows. Nobody knows what I'm talking about.
But I don't even know the name of the movie.
It's called Step Brothers with Will Ferrell. It's the only good part of that whole movie.
It's a fun fact. I can't stand Will Ferrell.
But he was funny in that.
I guess.
Yeah, it's because you are prejudiced against just...
Flacco! What the heck?
You are prejudiced against, like, just people. Like, you'll see one, like, a comedian say something, and then you're like, I don't like that person. And then from then on, you're like, I don't like anything that they've ever done.
That's not true.
And then I'll be like, Meek, check out this movie with this. It's pretty good. And then you watch it and you're like, okay, they're not that bad. Amy Poehler.
I did not like her.
You did not like her, but then
she's pretty funny in this other thing.
She's pretty funny. She's just a funny person, dude. It's just, you just prejudice against that.
So here's a fun fact. Flacco is actually outside of our house right now.
No, I don't know if he's out. He may have gone somewhere.
Oh, but he's power washing our house.
Why do you have to tell people about that stuff?
Why not?
Because I don't know.
He's the one that mentioned it.
I don't know if he... Oh.
Why any noise around you guys? So if you hear noise, it's because they're power washing the house. It hasn't really been loud, to be honest.
No. They're like on the other side, but I think they're taking a break right now. So we're taking the advantage. They took the break at this perfect time.
Yeah.
He was like, hey, we're going to take a break. And I'm like, that's fine. Go ahead. Go take a break. We're going to record something really quick. And we should be good.
All right. Audio's good. So the Bone season. We got someone that rated it a 2. Someone that rated it a 3. I gave it a 3. Because after I was done reading it, I was like, okay. Like, I feel like the author is a very good writer. It's written well. I just didn't care about the characters. Like, I didn't really care about any of the characters. The second you put that girl and that vampire dude together, I already forget what they called them.
The Warden.
Yeah, I was like, they're gonna end up together.
Did they?
They ended up making out or something, and like, yeah.
See so basically, what's that called when you're a prisoner and you start going into Stockholm syndrome?
Something like that.
Yeah. So I felt like at the point where I was at, where she had just taken over the deer and the butterfly, and she was going back, and then they were going on some secret mission with some other thing. I was at that point, and I was like, she's gonna end up, if she ends up falling in love with him or whatever, it's a very weird situation because she's his prisoner, and she's gonna get to the point where it's that Stockholm syndrome thing where she's just gonna convince herself that it's a good thing. I don't know. I mean, he is a good guy. Is he one of those fallen or whatever from the past?
Yes.
He is one of those because she was suspicious of that.
But this is the other thing. When you have to tell me, and I've said this 100 times already, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. But if you have to tell me how much you hate a character 5,000 times, and you're doing it in words and not through actions, I don't believe you. So I don't believe that she ever really hated him.
Because she kept saving him.
Yes.
She kept helping him
it's
all the time.
It's actions and not words.
And she's like, I love him so much. Like, pretty much the whole time. She's like, I don't know why, but I just, like, I don't know if she was just physically attracted to him. I always found that vampire thing weird, too. Like, I know they're not vampires, but they live really long, and they feed on humans, so it's kind of like that vampirism or whatever. But the age gap is weird, because, like, if you're thousands of years old or hundreds of years old, and
I feel like if you're that old, like, nothing in life would excite you anymore.
Something that did it really well was what was it? True Blood had some old characters in it, and they got to a point where it was like that happened. You know what I mean? There was like they were so wise, and like just nothing surprised them anymore. It was just like you grow, you continue to grow.
Yeah.
It's not like Edward where he's still a teenager in Twilight, and he's he's still a teenager. That's not what would have happened. You would have continued. I mean, unless their brains stop maturing at once you become a vamp, you can't grow mentally anymore. I guess that's what happens with the children. They never mature.
But the adults do. Okay, so the boring seasons, I might say.
Ah,
hi, Jiraiya.
Got him.
Jiraiya's here.
Jiraiya read it? Probably not.
Flacco loves us. Yes, we do know Flacco in real life. The bad season. I couldn't connect with any of the characters. Everything was obvious. She's always saying she hated him, but never did anything proving it. They are the ref I am. Oh yeah, the ref I am. But like that's like the second. And remember, I was like only a quarter of the way through it, and I said to you, I was like, they're gonna end up together. And he's like, how do you know? That's how I know, because she has to keep telling us how much she despises him, and you wouldn't have to do that. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to try to convince the reader to that point if you're really going to make her despise him.
So, I wouldn't give it a 1, even though I didn't finish it. I would say the amount that I read, I would still give it like a 2. It's just not for me. It's not my style of book. You know what I mean?
I know,
it's
like,
just...
and people say, like, I know some people complain, like, if you DNF a book, you can't rate it, but I 100% disagree with that.
You can't give a book a 5 or a 4,
no.
Or even maybe a 3 if you don't finish it, in my opinion. It should be a 1 or a
2.
Or a 2 or a 0. You know, like, if a 0 was an option.
All right. At the oration, as soon as she mentioned he was staring at her, I knew something was going to go down between them. I agree. Whelp Meek, that sentence was quite a mood. What did I say? I don't remember.
Whelp?
Yeah.
What does whelp
like
mean?
Whelp. Jiraiya, I read it, didn't care for it too much. It was so depressing. It was.
I thought it reminded me a lot of what's that show on Hulu that we were watching with the Handmaid's Tale.
Really?
Well, just because she was very like stuck in a situation where there was no getting out of it, and that's what the Handmaid's Tale is. Is basically the main character is just kind of stuck in like a slave position.
Yeah.
You know, that part of it I liked. I liked when it started off in a way, and then it got to the point where she was like captured, and like all this crazy stuff started happening. I was just like, wow, this is really interesting. Like this may be really cool. But then it became like super weird. I didn't know how much time went by.
Yeah, the time thing was weird.
Was it like, okay, so at the point where she was starting to take over the deer and stuff,
it had been months and months.
If I felt like it was like less than a week.
No, she had been there. Hadn't she been there for like years by the end of the book?
Oh, I don't know.
I think it had been a long time. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I think it had been like a couple years.
I feel like they should just keep it simple in books. Like either tell me exactly how long it was meant. 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, 4 months later, or give me some sort of gauge of like what happened. You know, like in the last month we read Book of M, right? So they were showing it by like how much time went by based on
how many people were afflicted,
and then like also how she was losing her memory, and then also his like facial hair and how much he grew and his wounds healing. So there was ways that you can tell like how much time. But honestly, like at the point that I'm at right now, I thought it was like 5 days because like I know it probably hasn't been. Maybe I missed a sentence here and there where she explained it, but it didn't feel like a lot of time because it was like okay, you have tomorrow, you can go learn about the monsters or whatever, go check that out, and then like the next day happens, and then the next day, and then something crazy happens the following day. So it was like every day something crazy was happening, and it was just like, okay, I guess it's been a week or so. I know it hasn't been, but that's what it feels like.
All right, T says, I'm tired of the thing where main characters always have to be more special than the others. Why couldn't a character be like the others but just be smarter about it?
Oh,
guess what? You can have the same powers but be better at using it instead of having more and suck at it first.
And that's what I love about sufficiently advanced magic.
I know. See,
the main character is not the best. He's in some way is the worst in his group.
But to me,
the weakest.
I don't mind reading. Like that's one trope that doesn't really bother me. Like to me, if you're going to write a book about a character, most likely you're going to write about the best character or the best of the best, unless they have a boring story behind them. But like, so that doesn't really bother me.
But the best character can become the best. The best character doesn't have to be the best from the very beginning. He doesn't have to be the chosen one. He doesn't have to be Naruto. He doesn't have to be Neo. Do you see what I'm saying?
Even like Harry Potter, I feel like even though he was the chosen one, he wasn't necessarily the best.
He sucked. He was not a great student. Cedric was a much better wizard than he was. Yeah. He just had he was the chosen one by freaking what's his face.
Is this the lowest rated book club? No, I wouldn't say so.
No, we've read some bad books.
All right. I agree the timeline was blurry. I thought it had been days, and then the warden had mentioned months had gone by. I think about a year went by in total. See, I couldn't remember. Like, I knew that a pretty significant amount of time went by, but I couldn't remember how much. But yeah, I think that was like... I'm not one of those people that hates when two main characters end up together. But this time, like, I'm getting sick of the trope where it's like, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. And oh my god, now all of a sudden I like you. And we're
now
together.
I'm going to jump your bones,
yeah,
Susan.
it's like... oh my god.
I hope everybody got that joke.
Did you prefer this book to Annihilation, Kivox?
I thought that this was written much better, but it was just so much longer. Annihilation was like 6 hours. You know, like... total. This was like 15 hours, I think.
It's a big book.
It was a decently big book. So if this was as short as Annihilation, I would have liked this much more. But no, I didn't. This was better than Annihilation, but it was just long, and I just didn't care anymore. I honestly didn't care a couple hours into it, and then I was like, oh, okay, this is a little interesting, and then it just like I didn't care again, and then I didn't care some more. So it wasn't worse.
When you said about Harry Potter not being the best, I was literally typing a comment saying the same exact thing. Harry Potter wasn't a good wizard. He was a lucky one with good wizards around him.
But that's how you become better. You put good people. You surround yourself with better people than you are, and then eventually you become more like them. That's just like true for life. Don't have crappy friends that aren't a good influence on you, because you're going to end up becoming more and more like them. Like, look at me.
I will say I was surprised about Nick being in love with Zeke. Dude, me too. That was actually a really cool part of the book.
Nick? Who's Nick?
So Nick, the guy that she had a crush on since she was a kid, he's actually in love with the other boy.
Oh, the one that was like the one that was
Ezekiel, I think his name was.
Okay.
Which I thought that did surprise me, and I thought it was really cool. And I thought it was like a cool twist, like because it wasn't like a huge twist, but I thought it was neat because usually books like this, it's like, oh my God, you liked me, like, oh, maybe we'll end up together someday, you know what I mean? And in this instance, it was like, no, you're not going to end up with this guy, he's gay, like, you're not.
Whoa.
Or bi. I knew she had a thing for him, but I didn't see his thing coming. Makes me wonder if anything ever happened for them.
Well, there's like 14 more books, so go read them.
There's
'cause I'm
2
not...
out. The I hate you, now I love you trope was in Six of Crows. It was, but I think it was done better. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, in Six of Crows than in this. My copy of the Bone Season had 0.5 book in it. The Pale Season, I didn't read it. Mine does too, but I didn't read it either.
What is 0.5?
It's like the prequel to the Bone Season.
Oh.
I didn't read it either.
What is it called?
The Pale Dreamer.
One thing I did like was the Bone Season, like the good season.
Yeah.
I liked that, how they explained that. I don't know. That was one of the things that I liked about it.
Yeah, so that started, like, that's another pretty decent chunk of the book, and I didn't read it. I don't know if I'm gonna. I heard that in Six of Crows it was well done. Hate You, Love You. Yeah, it was. Like, I didn't really mind it in that one. I don't remember hating that, so... I don't know. I don't really have much else to say about this book.
Yeah, it's not a recommended read for me. If you like the books that I like, you probably won't like this book. That's how I feel like our reviews are more based on, like, the style of books that we like. You know, like, I loved Sufficiently Advanced Magic. That was probably my favorite book that I've read this year. And I really liked Sleeping Giants. That's going to be one of the options for this month, by the way, Sleeping Giants.
Oh, if you guys want to vote, they're up there. We'll go over them after.
Yeah, there are 3 books up in the eye right there in the corner. Right, wait, there. There, it's over there, okay? There's a little eye, so just go click on that and vote for the book that you guys want to read next month.
Someone asked, what are the books called so I can read them? I mean, the Bone Season is, if you're talking about this month's that we're talking about, it's these 2. The Chalkman and the Bone Season.
Yeah, and I don't recommend reading this one. So
it seems like no one in this chat recommends it. T is not going to read the rest of the series. So Chalkman.
Chalkman. We also read this one. I read it like a month ago. So I may forget like 1 or 2 things that I wanted to talk about.
So who read this? I gave it a 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed this book. I just felt like it was such a good, like, story. Like, it was, not that it was super crazy or anything like that, but the author, I felt, had a really lyrical and good way of telling the story. And I felt that it was done well, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, even if things seemed like they didn't matter, I still enjoyed, like, reading it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
What did you read it?
What did I read it? I think I gave it like a 3-ish. Okay, 3.5, because people hate when I say 3 and it's like 3's not good.
I don't know how to say your name. Gotti Kroos? Gotti. But they give it a 3 out of 5. We got someone new.
So I would say like a 3.5, but again, a 3 is not bad for me. 3 is like, it's good. I liked it enough. I would still recommend it for the type of book it is, but I wouldn't recommend it for everybody. If it's I think the dog's sleeping and she
God.
barked a little bit. If you like kind of like a mystery, suspense, I would say it's like a mystery, like you're trying to figure some stuff out, suspenseful book. It's really good.
I agree and I disagree. I think it was kind of like a mystery-esque book, but it wasn't the type that, like, while I was reading it, I was trying to figure out who did what.
The cover is shiny, and then it has these, like, little matte chalk lines going through it, which is super cool. It feels like chalk, but it doesn't rub off.
All right, so Drea says, oh, wait, this is the book I didn't like. I didn't read the other one. Came on late, so I thought this is the one you were talking about before.
Oh.
Really? Kristen said, I gave it a 3.75. I liked it, but it wasn't a solid 4. And Gotti says the book was really slow for me. I'm surprised because, like, I liked the writing of it. I thought it was very interesting and just kind of, like, seeing this guy and his friends and them growing up. And, like, normally I wouldn't care about stuff like that, but I feel like it was done well enough where it was interesting.
I feel like a lot of books that are, like, mystery books like this, they do that reveal where they tell us a little bit about the past and then a little bit about the present and then back to the past and back to the present. And as you're, like, the past always has something to do with the present part of the story. So it's like you're going to learn something, what happened to him in the past, and then, like, oh, yeah, that takes effect now in the current story. That's the same exact thing that happened with the girl one, the
Broken Girls.
Broken Girls. I always want to say Golden Girls.
The thing that bothers me about mystery books, and I talked with you about this, was the fact that, like, you'll go on and everything's just happening, and then all of a sudden, like, 3/4 of the way through, they just dump all this information on you, and you're like, what happened? Like, everything happened? They told me everything all at once, and now I have to, like, sort through this, and I don't really understand what's going on. And, like, I feel like they started to do that, but then they repeated enough of the information where it stuck, and I was able to remember it.
That makes sense.
But
So I liked it, but I like, I don't read a lot of mystery stuff, but I like mystery and big, like, reveals at the end. There was no magic or anything involved, no paranormal stuff, but it was good. Like, I don't know, I did like it.
I thought there was paranormal stuff going on for a while because the guy kept, like, imagining ghosts and things like that.
I thought the reveal, at the end was, like, really good.
Yeah, I 100% forgot about the very first chapter or the prologue.
That, like, bumped it up for me at the end. I was just like, at the end, I was just like, ooh. I was like, oh, that was...
And then, like, super cringe. Like, my number one fear in, like, me growing old is, like, losing my memory. And it just, like, put a knife to my gut at the very last portion of the book where he started losing his memory. And I was like, no. Why? I felt so bad for him. And then he was so confident. He's like, the letter... What
letter
was it?
holder or
the letter
something?
hole. It's a letter hole. And I'm like, oh no, he's turning into his dad.
What is it? It's not a letter hole?
No.
What is it called?
Like I don't know, a letter...
Did you forget already?
We don't have one.
It's a letter hole, Meek.
That's not.
That's right, a letter hole.
I listened to the audiobook in Dutch, so that may have something to do with it. I don't know.
Maybe.
Kristen says, I think it was written well. There were times I thought I knew what was going to happen, then I'd feel thrown off again. I'm still wondering, though, why he kept having those visions and how, like, the dirt and other things kept happening to him. So, the way I got it, or perceived it, was that he was doing that, kind of like sleepwalking, and he was, like, creating... I did have a question with that, though, because...
I think it was mostly, like, him just kind of going a little crazy, like his dad was.
Yes.
Losing his memory.
Forgetting
starting
stuff.
to, like, do things like that and not really know what happened.
Like, I don't think he killed anyone.
Oh, no, I definitely don't.
Or he did any of that stuff.
He just found the head and took it.
Which is strange.
I know.
But
he likes to collect things. And he loved her.
Like,
he didn't love her, but he was obsessed with stuff like that.
They totally foreshadowed that so hardcore, and I just didn't catch it.
Yeah, they kept talking about how he likes to take things. Like, he kept mentioning that he likes to collect things, and he has a problem. Yeah, I know. They did a good job, but it was like a good enough, like, them throwing you off. And I think that was the best. That was the thing that brought it all together for me. Was that it was that reveal at the end. I was just like, and I thought, like, I was like, what about the smell? And then he explains that, and I was just like, okay, all right, you figured it out, all right.
I feel like it would take more than a few months to not smell anymore.
I don't know, man. It just
mail slot. There we go. But yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed it. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed myself the whole time, and then I was thinking about giving it a 3 to 3.5, but then that ending just bumped it for me. Like,
yeah.
I love when authors take things at the very end and bring back something that was in the very, very beginning that you completely forgot about.
That's my favorite thing about TV, movies, all of that. Like, that's like just a little. That's what I love about Doctor Who. I always bring that up. Doctor Who does that the best. When it's written, when it's a good season of Doctor Who, they tease you things like the first couple episodes that you just don't think are a big deal.
Yeah.
And then at the very end of the season, they call back, and it's just like, it's like Steven Universe, like one of the best shows on TV right now. Love that show. So good.
Kristen says, "Oh, okay, that makes sense, but it creeped me out how he saw things when he was young. Yes, the collecting was so freaky. The head."
Well, he didn't see things when he was young, though. I don't, or maybe he did. Oh no, he did, because he was seeing like the dead people, right?
He saw Sean.
He saw the dead kid, and yeah, he saw the dead people. You're right.
But like honestly, I think he would do things like.
But again, that could have been a dream.
He would kind of sleepwalk and just kind of like get into these like dreams. I don't know. I only like the end because I finally got the answers. Yeah, it is like a typical mystery where they do like kind of dump everything on you at the end. But I mean, me personally, I thought it was done really well. I really enjoyed the story, and I would recommend it to others.
I thought it was good too. If you like a mystery, I think you'll like it more. If you, but I mean, it doesn't matter because you guys are here anyways. You probably either read it or aren't gonna read it because we just spoiled everything for you. But for people that are like,
now, were you surprised as to who was killing everyone?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I
kind of did expect it was gonna be the cop. And then I was like, here we go again, another corrupted cop story.
It literally, who was it though? Who ended up?
The priest.
The priest guy, yeah. It's always the priest. Can't trust them priests. Can't trust anybody.
But yeah. I don't know. I think they're back. So you may hear power washing.
So yeah, I don't know. I think for somebody that likes mysteries, I definitely liked it, and
maybe though it's for people that don't like mysteries.
Maybe because we don't read a lot.
We don't read any of them.
But
so
I don't know. I'm so good at guessing stuff.
For the longest time, I thought the albino guy was gonna be. I did think that he would. I thought that was an option.
Who's the albino guy? I forgot.
Mr. Halloran.
Oh,
her teacher friend.
The chalk man.
His teacher friend. Yes.
The chalk man.
But like. I did think that because they made him seem almost
crazy,
too nice.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
And like, can you stop shaking?
Yeah.
Thanks.
I stopped.
So, they almost made him seem too nice, and then they kind of threw in that creepy, like, pedophilia thing, and then they like.
No, whoa.
If you're under 18.
No, there's different things, and they're called different things. Okay. Depending on your age, you have to make sure you call it the right thing. There's different things. I know that it's like if you're under 10, it's a certain thing. If you're over 10, but lower than 18, it's another thing. But anyway, how young was she?
16.
She was almost there.
When they brought that up, I was like, ooh, it could
And they
be
weren't
him.
like doing anything.
You don't know that.
You're right. I don't. But I didn't think that they were doing anything. I feel like he was going to wait for her.
I wondered about the priest for a while and then dismissed him, so I was caught off guard. Honestly, I knew all along that the priest wasn't as out of it as they thought he was. Like, he wasn't as crazy and he wasn't as brain damaged as they thought he was.
Well, because of the old lady that was like, he's trying to trick everybody.
And because, like, there were times where he would, like the time he went to go visit him and he, like, stared at him and was, like, telling him to, like,
confess.
What was that all about? You think it was about the head?
No, I think it was him. I think he's a little crazy. He was definitely at least a little crazy.
But he was with it enough to kill people, like to go after specific people.
You usually don't have to be really with it to kill somebody. Like, you could be out of it to kill somebody. That's not the hard part. The hard part is if you're with it enough, you don't kill people. The more out of it that you are, the more likely you are to kill people. See what I'm saying?
All right.
Do you agree?
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so that's
those are the books. Good, not good. In my opinion, Jiraiya disagrees, but whatever. He didn't read the other one. If you read the other one, Jiraiya, you would have known that this is way better. This is like a 10 compared to that one. But anyway, that one's good if it's your type of book. Not for me though.
I honestly don't think I'll read the rest of them. I will, however, read Priory of the Orange Tree.
What's that?
By this author.
Oh,
it's my number one most anticipated book right now.
All right, so let's start voting for next month's book.
So we have Sleeping Giants, which I don't want to say too much about. Like I feel
you don't know anything about it.
I read the beginning and they talk about the.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to. I don't even. It's a sci-fi, but supposedly it's really good. It always gets great ratings. And it's written in a weird context, right?
It's written in like interviews, which
is
are
cool.
Awesome. And if you can get the audiobook, I recommend the audiobook over the physical book because the audiobook is a full cast and it's great. Sorry, I smell burning. I forgot that we had a candle on behind this.
Wait, going back to Chalkman real quick. Kristen says, I will say I thought Nikki would play a bigger part, but the girl Chloe's connection was out of left field for me. I didn't expect it. I agree. I feel like the whole Chloe and Nikki thing were a little too much, like, connection. And I even said that to you. I was like, sometimes in mystery books, I feel like there's too much interconnection between characters. And, like, it's just a little out there for me. Those little things are what made me bump my rating down. But I still thought it was good. Second book is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. I've been wanting to read this book forever, and the new one's coming out soon, so I feel like people that want to reread it or read it for the first time, this is like the perfect time to do it because the new one's coming out. So that's that one. I don't really know much about it, don't want to know much about it. And then, per request, the third option is Sky in the Deep. Now, this one is kind of like a Viking story.
I don't want to read that one. I vote for not that one.
So these are the three if you guys want to vote.
You've told me what that one's about, and I'm just like, I don't want to read that. I already read this, but I think everybody should read this because this is a good series. And then my vote is for these two. That's my vote.
We always do two nowadays, it seems.
What's your vote? I mean, yeah, it gives you more of an option. If you want to just read one, you just read one. Like Jiraiya. You know, he read the shorter one.
Be careful with that book. It's imported.
This one? Oh, it's an import. Got it. It's extra expensive, I'm sure.
No, it was like $10, but it's hard to get.
Is it in English?
Yes.
Imported from where?
England.
That's like next door. Come on now. So.
Strange the Dreamer. There's an Audible sale going on right now, apparently.
For Strange the Dreamer?
I need to go look at that. I think we already have that, though.
There's a link in the description.
I think right Audible. Now, if you guys don't have Audible, I think they're doing a 2 books for free your first 30-day trial, which is like better than I got. Like usually you just get 30 days for free, which is 1 book, but they're actually giving you 2 books for your first 30 days, which is pretty awesome because
do we have that in the description?
No, I don't think so.
Dang. Sorry.
But I'm going to go check out that sale when this is done, just saying. So what are people voting so far?
Oh, I don't know. I lost the page. Bum, bum, bum. What are you voting for so far?
These 2.
Oh, you're voting for the same ones that I am?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Cool. What am I looking for again? Oh, the voting. Is it this one? No. It's this one. I can't see what that says.
Live streaming?
Okay. Good.
Mythical Morning.
Can't see it. Okay.
You're voting this one.
This one?
Yeah.
Sleeping Giants. Okay, and the other 2 are
so we're kind
tied
of 50-50. Ooh, did I scratch you?
No, you did not touch me.
Alright, going down. So guys, don't forget, before you leave, to vote which book you want to read. T already read Sleeping Giants.
Good. So you don't have to read it. Again.
Oh, man. They're doing a $5.95 sale, and there are, like, 6 that I want. You know what, though? Like, if I can get a book for $6 that I want...
An audiobook for $6?
That's cheap.
Yeah, don't use your points if you're going to do that.
I never... And plus, especially if they're usually $15 or over, because the normal monthly price is $15.
People spend more money than that on Starbucks for 1 drink. So
I've been guilty.
I hate Starbucks because of that, because people spend that much money on it. It's crazy. I will probably read the 3rd book in this because I'm on the 2nd one. So that's
You're on the 3rd one. You read the 2nd one already.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm on the 2nd one. Like, you know, I finished it. Like, that's the one that I'm on. I guess I'm on the 3rd one, but that's what I meant to say. That's what. Shut up.
What are people saying?
Nothing.
Nothing. How do you like refresh the boats?
The boats? You refresh the page, my dude. I think everybody voted already. But I wanted to see. Where was it?
Audible?
Yeah, it's one of these, right? This one. Nope. Anybody say anything? Oh, we got something else there.
Have you listened to the Throne of Glass series on Audible? They have like 4. I've listened to every single Sarah J. Maas ever book.
You've listened to them, or
through Audible?
Oh.
Like, well, literally the only book I haven't read of hers is the Catwoman one.
Oh.
But all of hers I've listened to on Audible, and I think they're really good.
What's this? They have the 4th series?
She's talking about the Throne of Glass.
Oh. Is it this that you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why my computer's moving so slow. You see that? Like how bad the mouse is going right now? Man.
I don't think I'm going to read... there's apparently an emoji-a-thon and a contemporary-a-thon.
What's an emoji-a-thon?
I don't know. I don't have time for these right now, unfortunately. They're just... it's too much.
I don't know if that's going to work. If I'm going to be able to... Oh, it did. Okay. All right. So I put the link for Audible if you guys are interested in the Audible thing that we were telling you guys about.
So how do we...
So you just have to refresh the page if you want to check out that link to the free 2 books. Ow.
What was that?
I don't know, like a piece of wood that pricked me.
That was a bug that bit you. All right, where are the voting? How does it stand?
Where are the voting? Nice one. Bum, bum, bum. That means bread.
I know.
My mouse is dying. I think you're like just blocking the connection to the wireless. So
this is kind of bad.
No, just this one. No. Not this one. Because we want both of these, right?
Well, yeah.
Then there you go. Done.
I feel like I'm letting T down because I know she really wants to read Sky in the Deep.
She could still read whatever she wants to read.
I know.
We're reading these 2. Because we're at 71 for this and 14 for the other 2, and I want to read both of these, so I vote for this one again. Oh, boomer roasted.
Well, I vote once and you vote once, and that's only counting one of our votes.
All right. Well, then you vote for this.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what are the books? Sleeping Giants. I recommend the audiobook. There's a sale on Audible. You get 2 books. I recommend you could get both of these books. Oh, look at that.
Well, that one's on sale. I wouldn't waste a point on that.
Then don't waste a point on this.
Spend the $6 and just get it if you want it. T says I will read it anyway. I will eventually too, but I'm just not in the mood right now. Like, I feel like Strange the Dreamer has been so hyped for so long, and the new one's coming out, so I just want to read it finally.
I have no idea what this is about.
Me neither.
You haven't even read the back?
Nope.
Wow, cool. I like going into books like naked.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. Brain naked. Not with pre-layers of clothing on in my brain about the book. You know what I'm saying? Naked. That's a term. That's a proper real-life term for books and stuff.
I'll probably get it because $6 is a steal. Scarlett Johansson narrates Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, and Rachel McAdams does Anne of Green Gables. I love their voices, so I may get them. Huh. Nice.
But this has a full cast, guys. A full cast. And it's done in, like, interview. And the interviewer, I love that character so much. He's so, like, just, like, mysterious and, like, blunt about everything. It's just great. You're going to love it. You're going to listen to the audiobook, right?
I guess.
Yeah, you should listen
I think
to
you're
the
gonna
audiobook.
kill me if I don't.
You have to. You like it's so great. I wish I could just give you guys the audiobook so you guys could listen to it.
Kristen says, "Oops." Kristen says, "Going into books naked." LOL.
That's how I roll. Sometimes she thinks it's weird because I'm just like holding the book, butt naked, walking around the house. Like she's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I'm going in naked." Right?
Sure.
You don't have to lie to them. You could just say yes.
So when's the book two? If you don't matter about keeping the audiobook or not, Scribed is $9 a month. Oh, yeah, that too.
But how much is Audible a month? 15? 20? 15.
But you get to keep it.
But you get to keep the book. But you only get one book a month. How much is Scribe? Do you get as many books as you want all the time?
Probably, but you can't keep any
So
of them.
so Scribe is like Netflix for books. Are we sure about that, T? Let us know if that's what it is, because I think you do it, right? There's a calendar right here. It's
look, September 30th.
30th. Ooh, so
last day of the month.
So we literally have 5 weeks to read 2 books, guys.
Well, one of them's kind of big.
Yeah, but 5 weeks is an extra week. I feel like this month we had like 4 weeks. What? What's going on?
I can't read it.
Oh, the chat. You just pointed at it. I didn't know what you were doing.
Now I have to add Strange the Dreamer to my TBR, so I have 26 books for next month. Oh my god.
Are you like crazy?
Or you have a lot of time.
Just like have a lot of time.
Because I'm pretty sure I could read 26 books a month if I absolutely had
Yeah,
to.
I think I did like what? 9 last month, maybe?
I don't know.
But I only really read for a week. Like the rest of the 3 weeks I was trying to read this book.
Nope. Bone Season.
Yeah, Bone Season, not this book. I thought this was Bone Season. I was trying to read Bone Season. Jump Your Bone Season. Bones Season. Bones Season. Aha! Aha! Aha!
What is wrong with you?
You get it? Bones Season. Like instead of saying bones, and
it's
then
just Bone Season.
No, I know, but it's Bones Season.
Yeah.
I'm combining the 2 words to make it bones. Like Jump Your Bones.
I got it.
I thought it was funny. Whatever, dude.
Alrighty.
Are we done?
Thank you guys for joining. I hope you guys enjoy reading these books. I hope we enjoy reading these books. Or you already read one. And yeah.
We're going to enjoy this.
Thank you once again. So September 30th, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will see you next time.
Is that your going out thing?
Yeah.
All right. Bye, guys. No more comments, right? Before we hang up?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Before we hang up, what is this, a phone call?
Yeah, we're hanging up on them, all right? This is like a one-way video chat right now. And then they text us back.
Are you going to end it?
Yeah, I'm going to end it at some point. Any point. It may be now.
Come on.
Maybe tomorrow. Maybe